All right, let's jump into the second half of level 1A. We have this 6 now. 104 now, 6 now. Cool. All right, what have we got? We have 3 hearts. Uh, 4 club winners is 7. 2 diamonds is 9. And we need 12. There are no extra tricks coming in hearts. There are no extra tricks coming in clubs. Spade, this lead looks like it's about to set up 2 tricks for us, though they may not play the ace right away. And in diamonds, we could get another trick if the queen jack of diamonds are with West. We have a double finesse in diamonds. We have the ace and the king sitting over the hoped for queen and jack with West, so we can capture both of them. All right. So not much to do on this first trick. We have to play low. It doesn't really matter what we play here. Our spades are now good. Okay, and we get a spade. Cool. So now we can count the spades a little bit more directly. So we will have 2 spade tricks in total. 3 hearts for 5, 4 clubs for 9, and we need all the diamond tricks. And yeah, it sure looks like the way to be is a double finesse. Technically, there is one other chance, which is that East has exactly Queen Jack Doubleton of diamonds. I doubt that we would find out even if we played like all the rest of the cards. I think actually if that yeah, if the right thing to do is to play out more cards before taking this finesse. I'm guessing not in level 1. But could we find out? We need to make sure to leave at least one entry back to our hand, because when we do the first finesse, if they play one of the queen or jack, we'll have to win with the ace or king, then come back to our hand, do the finesse again. So we could play like all the cards except for one entry back to our hand, and then do the finesse to see if we learn anything. Probably overkill for this problem, but seems like a sensible thing to do in general. So let's give it a shot. All right, somebody has 1 spade left, but we don't know who it is. Let's try some hearts next here. All right, heart. And somebody has 1 heart left, but we don't know who it is. Okay, East started with 4 clubs, and West started with 1. West started with 4 spades, and therefore East started with 3. Now they discarded the spade. We know that West had 4 spades and 1 club. East had 3 spades and 4 clubs. Now it looks like West had 4 hearts as well. So West had this actually does give us the full count of West's hand, which was four spades, 4 hearts, and a single club. Therefore, 4 diamonds. Which means that East has started with 3 diamonds. That was 3 hearts, 3 spades, 4 clubs, and 3 diamonds. So we actually can tell exactly that neither of them started with a doubleton diamond. All right, so back to the original plan of just doing the double finesse in diamonds against West. And it is important at this point that we still have the queen of clubs in our hand. Because when we first play this, if they go up with the queen or the jack, that forces us to use an entry back to our hand. So we were not allowed to play the queen of clubs before taking this finesse. All right, that's 1 step down. Back here. And we must finesse. And there we go. Neat. I'm going to guess they don't talk about the discovery play of playing out all the rest of the cards, but let's take a quick look. Yeah, take the ace. Yeah, we do in fact have 11 top tricks. 3 hearts, 2 diamonds, 4 clubs. And we need the diamond. We can indeed do a double finesse. Okay, they just do it right away, so they don't mess around. But I think it's worth pointing out that there's like the slightest chance that you're actually able to learn that there's a Doubleton diamond somewhere. And because there is a totally safe way to play out a bunch of cards before taking this finesse, it's good practice to do so. But as expected, they don't do anything too crazy for level 1. They do point this out, that if they take the queen or jack, we have to get back to our hand to do the finesse again. Let's go to the end to see if they mention anything else. Okay, they do make this point, that South should not cash too many tricks before playing diamonds. So they do make this important point that if the defenders play accurately, they will force us to lead from our hand twice. And in general, it is correct to split these honors and play one of them when South plays low. All right, 6 spades. So we have potentially a spade loser in the king of spades. We certainly have a heart loser right now. No club losers, no diamond losers. So a spade loser and a heart loser. And the heart loser is very unavoidable. They're going to take it right now. All right. So the main thing we need to do here is just not lose a spade. We have 9 spades. The correct thing to do with 9 spades, which is the king, is to finesse. The only other option is to bang down the ace and hope for a single to the king. But given that there's 4 outstanding spades, this is not a very good idea. You actually need to have 11 cards missing the king for playing the ace to be the right choice. So there is another maximum between 8 ever, 9 never. There's also a 10 ever, 11 never when you're finessing against just a king, or choosing to finesse against a king or drop it. That one comes up a little bit less because we don't get a lot of 11 card trump suits, but sometimes. I think there are problems for this, but maybe they're either probably like level 1B or they hide them somewhere in level 2. Okay. So how are we going to not lose a spade? So we're going to finesse. It's worth pointing out that we may need to do that finesse multiple times. If righty has 3 spades or 4 spades, we would have to do the finesse repeatedly. If they have 3 spades, we'll have to do the finesse twice. We'll have to go to dummy twice to do the finesse. If they have 4 spades, we could potentially have to go to dummy 3 times to get past it. So where are our entries actually at? We have no entries in clubs because our clubs are higher. Clubs are actually blocked. So we have to use diamonds. How many entries do we actually have in diamonds? We can actually get 2, but not 3 entries. So we could play, and we have to be a little bit careful because it's very likely we'll need 2 entries. We have to be very careful not to play the 2 of diamonds to the king, because that will afford us only a single entry in diamonds. All these diamonds are equivalent besides the 2. So we could actually play 2 to the 9, and later we could play jack to the king, and that would give us 2 entries in diamonds. If spades are 4-0, I think we are out of luck. Alright, so we necessarily rough this because we can't afford to lose it. And we should go work on spades. There's concern, potentially, of a diamond rough if we go over in diamonds twice, but that would require a 5-1 split, which is not particularly likely. I want to say that's like 10% or something. Let me take a quick look. 15% chance of a 5-1 split. Against that, there's like a 50% chance of a 3-1 spade split. So we should absolutely cater to 3-1 spades. In any case, there's no reason not to play diamonds in a way that gives us 2 entries. So we have to play 2 to the 9 or 10 and not play 2 to the king. And of course, we could play jack to the king first, 2 to the 9 later. It doesn't matter. The important thing is just not to play 2 to the king. We do our finesse. And it holds. We do have the option of playing the ace right now and hoping spades are 2-2. But as I say, the chance of 3-1 spades is 50%. It's a lot higher than the chance that the diamond gets roughed. So we should come back here with our carefully manufactured second entry. Do the finesse again. And when West fails to follow suit, we know that the play that we did was very necessary. So you can imagine at this point, if East actually had 2 more spades, if they split 4-0, there would just be no way to repeat the finesse, and we would go down. But they are 3-1. We crush the king, and all of our tricks are good. Cool. Do, 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 do. All right, 20 for 20. One heart, 2 heart, 4 heart. Seems reasonable. All right, again, suit contract will count losers. These hearts are solid. Even if there was a 5-0 split, we could take 5 hearts. And spades, we are missing a spade, so a spade loser. And diamonds, we also have a diamond loser. There's only 2 winners in dummy to take care of our 3 small cards. So that's 2 losers. And in clubs, we have another 2 losers. So that's 4 in total. 1 spade, 1 diamond, 2 clubs. We have 4 losers. We can only afford 3. What can we actually do? We can't rough any of these. All of our suits are shorter or equal to dummy's length. So we're not going to be roughing any of these losers. Which means we're going to need some extra winners in dummy. And we do have a nice diamond suit, which could easily set up for up to 2 more tricks. If diamonds are 3-2, we could play like, let's say hypothetically we played ace king and gave up a diamond. The other diamonds could then be good. That exact line of play is problematic. As always, if we're going to be setting up some cards, we'd better have a way to get back to them. And where are the entries to dummy? Turns out they're only in diamonds. There are no entries in the other suits. So we need to be careful to play diamonds in such a way that we're actually able to get to our winners. And so what I just said about playing ace king and another diamond is a terrible idea. Even if they split, we play ace king, another diamond, they split 3-2, and now there's no way to get to those diamonds. So we need to find an alternate way of playing these diamonds. To start with, let us win this ace of spades. We're not roughing anything, so no reason not to draw trump here. All right, trump are splitting 3-2. All right, and now we can work on diamonds. So if playing the ace and king doesn't work, what should we do instead? This is a fairly common idea that if you have concerns about getting blocked out of a suit, and it's a suit where you need to lose a trick, it's often a good idea to lose that trick early. So instead of playing the ace king as our first 2 tricks, we can duck a diamond first. No return is harmful to us. If they play a spade, sure, they were going to get the spade winner. If they play a club, we've got to stop her. And then we can go back to playing diamonds. And as long as diamonds are 3-2, we will now have an entry to those diamonds. It looks like we are going to have to rely on diamonds being 3-2. If they're 4-1, they could always block us out of getting to our good diamonds. And we just won't have enough time to set them up anyways. They could return a club, expose our club losers, and then take them when we try to set up diamonds. So right now, we would say, spit terminology, we have a fast spade loser, in that if the opponents get in, they can take that spade right away. But we have two slow club losers. Those clubs are protected by the ace of clubs, so the opponents have to get in twice before they can take those clubs. If we had, three or four fast losers, we would have a problem because we just couldn't set up anything in time without ducking a trick. Okay, so we're not going to play the ace king of diamonds. We're going to just fully duck a round of diamonds. They do return a club, which looks like best defense to me. And as long as diamonds are 3-2, we now have an entry back. So ace, and indeed they split. And there we go. And in fact, we will get an over trick because we can pitch, let's say both of our club losers on these diamonds and have just a spade loser left. Well, rough to end the hand. Closest we can get to claiming. So yeah, the important thing here is just not to bang down the ace king of diamonds. We need to first recognize that the extra winners we have available are in diamonds, and that's the only way we're going to get rid of one of these losers. And that the only safe way to play diamonds is to duck a full round first. Because we do have an entry problem. If we're going to set up a suit, there needs to be some way to have an entry to it. Alright, another nice hand for four spades. Okay, a very similar trump suit, solid 5 cards, so no trump losers. We have 3 losers in hearts. There's a clear way we could ruff one of them, but to start with, we'll count all the losers. We have 3 losers in hearts. No losers in clubs, and 1 loser in diamonds. So we have the ace of diamonds, the king covers this, then we have 1. So 3 heart losers, 1 diamond loser. And how could we handle any of these? There are no extra winners in dummy, at least at present. You could imagine setting up diamonds. If diamonds were 3-3, we could lose the 3rd round of diamonds, and we'd have an extra diamond trick. Interestingly, if that was our plan, was to build up an extra diamond to pitch a heart, it's worth pointing out that we would actually play something similar in diamonds that we did in clubs last time. Or sorry, actually, I guess it was diamonds again last time. Where we shouldn't play the ace and king and give up a 3rd round, because we would have no entry back. Well, I mean, maybe there's a heart ruff, but if we ruff a heart, then we already don't have 4 losers. So if you actually want to make sure you have a safe entry in diamonds, you should duck the 1st round of diamonds in the same way we did last time. And then play the ace and the king, and now you've used the king as an entry to the last diamond. But using a diamond to set up an extra winner to pitch a heart relies on diamonds being 3-3. It looks a lot nicer to just ruff a heart, which I think shall be our plan. So I'll win this trick. An important consideration, though, is if we're going to ruff a heart, we had better not play any spades yet. If we play even 1 round of spades right now, we could play a heart, they might win and return a spade. We play another heart, they win and return a spade, and now there's no spades left in dummy. And also at that point, our other heart loser would be exposed, we wouldn't be able to even work on diamonds anyways. So if we're going to ruff a heart, we should play hearts now. Can anything particularly bad happen if we're playing hearts? It doesn't matter if they ruff one of these hearts, because they're just ruffing losers. So like their partner was going to win if they ruff one of these hearts. If they win and return, diamond potentially, you could be concerned a little bit about a diamond ruff, but that would require some pretty distributional diamonds. So it certainly looks like the right thing to do is ruff a heart. And if we're going to ruff a heart, we cannot afford any trumps at all. There are some hands where you can afford to draw some of the trumps. Maybe you can draw like 1 round before you embark on whatever it is you're doing. But the timing here, if they're going to get in twice and potentially lead 2 rounds of spades, then that would leave us with only 1 spade left. So we can't afford to draw any trump at all. So let's play a heart. They win, and they are indeed, they know what we're up to, so they're starting to draw trump. Luckily, we are 1 step ahead. Play another heart. They still try to draw our trump, but it's too late. We're now able to ruff a heart. And so we only had 2 heart losers. We're going to have 1 diamond loser. We haven't drawn any trump yet. Don't forget. Or sorry, well, we haven't drawn. They've done 2 rounds. They still have 1 trump outstanding. So that's important to remember. We should get back to our hand as fast as possible to draw that last trump. What's the safest return between clubs and diamonds? This is a good question. We had... I don't think either's going to be a problem in level 1 here, but worth considering. We had 6 clubs. So for a second round of clubs to get roughed, they would have to be splitting 6-1. For the first round of diamonds to get roughed, they would have to be splitting 6-0. 6-0 should be less likely than 6-1. If I look at my quick table of probabilities, yeah, actually 6-0 is 1% and 6-1 is 7%. So diamonds is the safe suit by actually a factor of 7. But I don't think they would punish me for playing a club. But it's worth considering. It's one of those little bits of technique to consider. And now that we've drawn the last trump, we're good to go. They will get a diamond at the end. Play some cards. Alrighty. Back to no trump. What have we got? We have 1 spade winner. We have 4 hearts, that's 5. We have a club is 6. And we need 9. Where are extra tricks? Obviously, diamonds could be set up for 3 more tricks. So that certainly sounds promising at the beginning. If we have, 6 tricks outside of diamonds, and then we get 3 diamonds, that sounds pretty good. In clubs, there are 2 more tricks available on a successful finesse, or even 1 more on a non-successful finesse. But that's not enough. Even if the club's finesse was successful, we could have 1 spade, 3 clubs, 4 hearts is 8 tricks. No matter what, we have to work on diamonds. And if we do work on diamonds, we have all the tricks we need. So this club finesse looks like a red herring. There's no particular need to try it, or at least not until we've secured the rest of the contract. We do have a similar danger that we saw in an earlier hand. I think it was around like A11, if I recall. And that we may need to hold up here. We only have 1 spade stopper, and we're going to have to give them the lead with the ace of diamonds. So we should do our best to avoid having the spades run against us. And the best we can do is holding up the ace of spades until the 3rd round. So that if spades are 5-3, or worse, then the hope is that whoever has the ace of diamonds doesn't have any spades left. So we will duck a spade. And we will duck another spade. Oops. I said duck. I mean duck. Alright. What do we need here? Nothing in particular. Okay. And yeah, now our hope is just that whoever has the ace of either spades are 4-4, in which case they'll take 3 spades and a diamond, or whoever wins the ace of diamonds doesn't have the last spade. This looks good so far, and that West probably has the spade. Alright. Now I see. This club finesse, even more enticing and even more dangerous. Taking this club finesse is now a unique way to go down in a hand that we've already won. We have 4 hearts, we have 1 club, we have 3 diamonds. So it's 8 tricks, plus 1 in the bag is 9. The only way you're going down from this point is to try this club finesse. If it loses and West wins the king, they're going to run a bunch of spades, and you will be down. So there is no reason to be risking that. Take the ace of clubs. Take the good tricks. Contract made. As you can see, that club finesse would lose, and West would run a number of spades. So another similar, or another theme, I guess, that we had earlier, which was don't get greedy for the tricks that you don't need. Find the safest way to take the tricks that you do need. Of course, there is some difference between imp strategy versus match point strategy. Everything in Bridgemaster is done at imps under the assumption that you're going to try to make your contract, and you're not concerned about over tricks. Though even on this hand, that club lead's pretty suspicious. I don't think you should be trying for the over tricks here. And it's for your bridge fundamentals. Learning to find safe ways to make your contract is definitely the right place to start. Okay, sorry, what was that auction again? Okay. So 4 hearts. Our hearts are good, no losers there. Spades, it sure looks like we have 3 losers. Diamonds, no losers. Clubs, a number of potential losers. Could be 4. Maybe only the ace wins. Maybe the king is offside. All these clubs are losers. Possibilities. There is a diamond finesse, which would get us, would let us drop a club loser, but we'd still have a bunch. If we lose 3 spades, we can't afford to lose any of these clubs. If we do a club finesse, that might also save us a trick. And then we could ruff some number of clubs. So that's always a possibility. I think what we do here is going to depend a little bit on what the opponents lead a trick for. What are they going to do after they cash all of these spades? Because if they don't lead a heart, we may be looking at a pretty good cross ruff, where maybe we could ruff literally 4 clubs in dummy and 4 diamonds in our hand. So let's see what happens. Imagine they will take the spades, and they'll see if they switch to a heart. They might be testing us by switching to a diamond. We'll see what happens. But the heart switch definitely looks like the right defense. Or switching to a club, I guess, if he wins. Okay, they do. Or if they win, rather. Okay. They have left all of our hearts intact. So it's worth pointing out at this point that we could ruff 4 clubs. We have enough entries back to our hand to ruff all of these because we have a bunch of diamonds we can ruff. We can literally just ruff back and forth. The finesse doesn't do anything for us. We can take the ace and ruff 4 clubs. The finesse looks like, again, a pretty unique way to go down. When you are considering doing a cross ruff, it's worth taking a bit of a look at the quality of your trumps. And we have 2 small trumps, 1 in each hand, but the other trumps are actually high. As long as the second round of clubs doesn't get over-ruffed, because we play a small heart, and as long as the second round of diamonds doesn't get over-ruffed, because we play a small heart, then we're actually cold, because we can now cross-ruff high. All of our trumps are higher than all of the outstanding trumps. They can't do anything about it. That looks like a pretty good plan. In cross ruffs, a good idea in general too is to take cash out winners first. I don't think it particularly matters here, but on principle, I'll start with the ace of diamonds. And now look at this great cross ruff. So it's worth pointing out that even if we had tried, say, the diamond finesse, the club finesse, and even if those worked, we would still need to ruff a bunch of clubs. Another point about embarking on a cross ruff is that you typically aren't going to draw trumps first because you're going to want them all. to do your cross ruff. Sometimes you're not going to cross ruff so many tricks, and so you might be able to afford 1 or 2 rounds first. But here we are planning to ruff all the diamonds and all the clubs. So as long as they follow to 2 rounds of diamonds and 2 rounds of clubs, then we are good to go. We're just going to ruff back and forth. All right. Wee. I'm interested to see what they say, because I think this hand is like it's going to be a little bit more involved than the ones we've seen so far, as far as like recognizing the cross ruff. Take the first 3 spade tricks. I'm actually particularly interested to see what they say, or if they talk about what if the defense had led a heart rather than a club, trick 4. They take their 3 spade tricks and switch to a club. Seth needs the rest of the tricks. It's true. Only 6 tricks are available on top winners: 4 hearts, diamond, and a club. I like this wording. One of the advantages of a trump contract is extra tricks are available by ruffing. That's true. Let us employ the cross ruff technique. Yep, and importantly, we must not draw any trumps. We cash, so they do cash 8 diamonds first as well. Yep. And we'll do club ruffs and diamond ruffs. The only remaining danger is east will overruff north 3, or west will overruff north 2. True. So those very much should be the ruffs that we take first. So reduce that risk of overruff. And that's what we did. And now we're good. Yes, the defense would indeed have done better to lead trumps. Let's see if they actually walk through that. Because, oh yeah, it looks like we would have gone down if they had played the trump, given that all of the minor honors are offside. Okay, they don't go to it exactly, but here's some consideration. What would we do if they actually had a trumpet trick 4? So while we typically count losers in suit contracts, when you're doing a cross ruff, counting winners can actually be pretty helpful. So we can count our winners here as ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and 8 heart tricks, because we get 4 hearts here separately from the 4 hearts here, and so that's 10 tricks in total. If they had returned a heart at trick 4, we would see ace of clubs, ace of diamonds, and 7 heart tricks, because we would win 1 round of hearts, and then we would win 3 hearts separately, 3 hearts separately with ruffs. We'd only have 9 tricks. So before embarking on the cross ruff, we should try one of the minor finesses for a 9th trick, with no particular indication of which would be the right one to do, I think. So we would have 9 tricks, and one of the minor finesses would get us up to 10. Again, as long as we were able to ruff safely. Actually, as far as which choice of minor to do, it should probably be the minor that is opposite the high cards after we win that heart. So if after the 4th, or on the 4th trick, if righty had led a small heart, and let's say we won that, we played the 2 here and the king in north, the club ruffs are in danger of overruff because we have a 3 here, but the diamond ruffs would not be in danger, because we have only high trump left here. I think in that case, we would play the ace of clubs, do a diamond finesse, and assuming that held, cash ace of diamonds, and then embark on our cross ruff from there. All right, a week 2, and then a 3-0 from us. Interesting bid. We're hoping that partner's got a decent 6-card diamond suit, and that we're going to take 6 diamonds. We have 2 other tricks for 8, and then we're going to have to hope there's a 9th trick somewhere. I will say my partner's preamps are not usually this good. So I'm not sure that I'd be bidding 3 now on this hand. Maybe. Actually, probably use some tool like August to find out if partner actually has a good hand. If they have a good suit and a good hand, then all right, I'm happy going. If they've got some outside ace or king somewhere, like they do here, then we do have a shot at 3 now. But if they've preempted on, like king jack 6th empty of diamonds, and nothing, no side cards, we're not gonna have a good time in 3 now. But here we are. Partner does have a decent hand. Where are the tricks? And so, as we would expect in the auction, we do have 6 diamond tricks, and we have our 2 hearts. That's 8. And we're going to need a 9th trick somewhere. In clubs, we have a finesse. We can lead up to the king. If lefty has the ace, there we go. Another option maybe is running the 10 of clubs, though it doesn't immediately strike me as a good idea. Running the 10 of clubs, if West has both of the queen and jack, let's see, they would play 1. We'd play the king. It would probably cover base ace. That queen ace. Our clubs are actually quite good. They might set up at that point. It's a little interesting. Yeah, there's a possibility. Another possibility is just playing spades. These spades are good for 2 tricks because they are solid once we knock out the ace and king. But that's not a race we're going to win. They've already attacked our weakest suit. They've already knocked out 1 heart stopper, and then we would knock out 1 spade stopper. They would knock out our 2nd heart stopper. We would knock out a 2nd spade stopper, and they would be on lead to take hearts. So we can't use the spades here. It will have to be clubs that we use. In which case, yeah, there's a consideration of which finesse is best. And I'll think about that. Yeah, if we play, let's say, 10 up to the king, and we intend to play the king. Let's say lefty plays low, we play the king, it loses the ace, worst case. I suppose we're in trouble. They would have 2 more club stoppers to our 1 heart stopper, and we wouldn't be able to set up any tricks. If we played 10 to the 2, and it lost, so worst case, so it loses to the jack, they could then again play a heart, knock out our last heart stopper, and we're in trouble again. So either finesse we take, if it lost, we would have a problem. Running the 10 loses way more frequently. Also, if running the 10 actually worked, if it went 10 jack king ace, they would still knock out our heart, and they would still have a stopper in clubs with the queen. So yeah, it looks like the only thing that really works here is playing low to the king. So trying to run the 10 doesn't work because even if lefty has the queen and the jack, they would just split their honors and they would still have a winner, which they could use to run hearts later. So the only sensible finesse then is up to the king. All right. Which in general, I would say the shortcut version of that is if we only need 1 trick, we should just do the finesse that's the most likely to succeed. If we needed a bunch of club tricks, maybe we could devise a reason to do a deeper finesse. Deep finesses, if you're trying to maximize the number of tricks in a suit, a lot of the time, yes, the deepest finesse is the right choice, or the deepest is a bit tricky. It does depend a lot on the exact holding you have. But like if you have ace queen 10 in one hand, finessing up to the 10 first and then the queen later is a lot better than the queen first and the 10 later. If you need 2 tricks. If you only need 1 though, usually we take the shallowest finesse that gives you that. And so that's what we'll do here. Any particular reason to play a bunch of diamonds first? Probably not. Actually, a really good reason not to play a bunch of diamonds is we would end up squeezing ourselves. We might have to like give up a spade stopper or something, and that would be silly. So in general, don't play a bunch of winners until you've established the things you need. We'll play the 10 for fun, but we're gonna try the king. And it holds, and that's our ninth trick. If Lefty had played their ace, they could try to knock out the heart, but the king of clubs would still win. All right. There's a bunch of analysis for one play in clubs. And we'll take our tricks. All right. 4 hearts. We have 2 heart losers, ace and the king. Otherwise, the hearts are solid. We have a spade loser. That's 3. We have a diamond loser. And otherwise, diamonds are solid. That's 4. And the clubs are good to go. So we have 4 losers, and we can only afford 3. The heart losers are unavoidable. They will get their ace and king of hearts. We can't do anything about those trump losers. The ace of diamonds is also pretty unavoidable. There's just no way to get rid of the diamonds in our hand, say. So the avoidable spade loser is this, or the avoidable loser is the spade. How can we get rid of it? There are no roughs available. All of our suits are equal length or longer than dummy, or equal length or shorter, rather. There are, however, extra winners available in diamonds. We have the top 4 clubs, but we can't get more than 3 club tricks because we don't have a 4th club. So diamonds is where we have an extra winner available. If we attack diamonds, we can knock out the ace, and then we'll have 1 extra winner in dummy. So that looks like a pretty good plan for getting rid of a spade. We're pretty much forced to win the spade here, because if we lose the spade, then, as we pointed out, we have 3 more unavoidable losers, so let's win a spade. And so the question is diamonds now the right choice before we do anything else? Do we have any concerns about diamond roughs? Should we be drawing some trump first? And we very much have to do diamonds right now. This spade 2, this is still a slow loser at the moment because it's covered by the king of spades. We have a stopper. But if we try to play hearts, they're going to lead a spade and expose this loser, and then we will not have time to set up a diamond. They'll take the ace of diamonds and they'll take the spade. So, while it'd be nice to draw a trump if we could, we do not have the time to do so. We need to set up this diamond winner right now. And if they don't take this diamond, we must persist. All right, we now have our diamond winner set up. They do try to expose our spade loser, but it's too late. Importantly, we still can't draw trump. The spade loser is now exposed. We need to get rid of it now. We can overtake the king to get to dummy. You know, we must risk this 1 round of clubs. It's not a big risk. And pitch this spade. Even this trick does actually. This is the trick that comes with the most risk of there being a rough. In which case, we may or may not succeed. If the person who was out of diamonds had to rough with the ace or king, we'd be fine, because we were going to lose this anyways. If they rough with something small, then we would be in trouble. But they're not able to rough in any case, so we've gotten rid of that 1 extra loser. We just have our 2 heart losers left. I suppose, again, barring, a club rough, it's still a possibility, but there's nothing we can do about it. We have done the best we can. Woohoo! Okay. 2 hearts, 4 hearts. Wow, that's a very nice hand. Partner is indeed showing the appropriate amount of restraint by only bidding 4 hearts. Of course, they can't really expect us to have anything in spades, so they would absolutely expect that there's a very high likelihood of 2 spade losers. Not to mention, there's no need that the heart suit's even solid, so yeah, 4 hearts, absolutely the right bid. Even though it is quite a beast of a hand. Okay. So we do have a heart loser, missing the ace, but we're otherwise solid. In spades, it's possible we're losing 3 spades, right now. So that would be unfortunate. Diamonds are fine, clubs are fine. So it looks like 1 heart loser and 3 spade losers. Heart loser is unavoidable, so we'd better not lose 3 spades. Dummy is chock full of extra winners that we could use to pitch spades. If they had not let us spade, we would have some decent chances of making 12 tricks. Oh, maybe that's not true. Maybe they'd be a little bit tricky. They'd probably rough like the 4th round of a minor. But in any case, they've let us spade. And we need to not lose 3 spades right now before we get a chance to even use any of these minor tricks. So, what should we be doing? First big question is, who has the jack of spades and who has the ace of spades? It's pretty much guaranteed that we know exactly where they are from this lead. Under 2 assumptions. One is that lefty is not underleading an ace, which just tends to be an absolutely terrible lead at no trump, or at suit contract rather, unless you have a very explicit reason for what you're doing and a very particular defense in mind. At no trump, it's totally fine and very common. But here we, expect much greater than 99% of the time that righty has the ace of spades. And who has the jack? With only a little bit less certainty, it's lefty with the jack of spades. The lead of the queen typically shows the jack. The lead of any honor typically shows the honor below it. Unless West had 1 or 2 spades, in which case they would lead the top of a doubleton, or, their only singleton. Quick look at the auction. That would give East a lot of spades. East would have at least 6 spades then, if West had 2. They didn't really have a chance to express this. Like, if East had, 6 spades to the ace, or ace-jack, we may not have heard about it in this auction, so, it is a live possibility. But that split just in general is much lower than a 4-3 or a 5-2. Oh, sorry. What am I saying? Yeah, 4-3 or 5-2 split. Oh, sorry, I couldn't even count. What am I saying? Yeah, this is double 10. East only have 5 spades. So, that is a possibility. If East has 5 spades, there's probably nothing we can do. Because East would win the first spade, like, no matter what. Maybe that's not true. I should take it back a little bit. If this is a doubleton queen of spades, actually, let's go back even further. If this is a singleton, we're not making the contract. East can overtake with the ace of spades, lead a spade back for a ruff. And then potentially, I guess, has the ace of hearts as an entry, and then could play another spade for another ruff. So if this is singleton, we're probably out of luck. Something similar can happen if this is a doubleton. If we were to duck, it could go, queen wins. They play another spade to the ace, a 3rd spade back for a ruff, and we'd be down. And we play the king, similar idea. East has the ace, we know this. So they play the ace, they, let's say play the jack of spades and get a spade ruff. So I think we need to be rooting for 4-3 spades here. I think we're unlikely to succeed if spades are not 4-3. And if they are 4-3, then West has the jack of spades. That's basically where I want to get to. As far as figuring out which card we should play from dummy and from our hand. And so yeah, if East has the ace and West has the jack, playing the king doesn't look very helpful. We play the king, East wins the ace. They lead another spade through our 10 over to West jack. And then they cash a third round. So playing the king does not look like it's going to succeed. And in general, against suit contracts, when someone leads through a king and dummy, you should not be playing the king if it's unsupported, because righty almost certainly has the ace. A very common situation is you find dummy with king jack in some combination, like king jack fourth, and you get a lead in that suit. You should try the jack. You should not try the king. You should very, very strongly assume there is no underled ace. So playing the king doesn't look likely to work. Whereas playing low does have a particular advantage. One is that East might find some reason to win the ace. Like, they might suspect the partner has short spades. But assuming they don't, like here, now having lefty lead into this kind of split tennis of a king 10 actually sets up a spade trick for us. Because now we can cover, and it can go jack, king, ace, and our 10 is good. If lefty had played low, we would play low again. And East would be forced to win with the ace or let our 10 win. And either way, again, we would get a trick. So now we can cover. And now we have 10 of spades, as long as it's not a doubleton. And it's not. So we, in fact, only had 2 spade losers. And now we should just be losing a heart and be good to go. A minor up is possible, but unlikely. We keep playing spades, or keep playing hearts until all the hearts are gone. They still have, 2 more of these? That's a little interesting. To get back to our hand, we actually are going to have to play another round of diamonds. Hope that holds up. Rough. And back to the hearts. Drawing those last 2 hearts. Now we're good to go. I wonder if there's maybe an idea that if a diamond does get returned, should we actually try to get our rough in clubs? Because they would lead a singleton if they could. But they might have let a singleton on the opening lead if they actually had one, so. Alright. If the opponents don't play spades ever, then I guess we just get rid of our spades on the minor cards. So them playing spades is like what gave us a spade trick. If left to our own devices, we can't get that spade trick. Like if we lead up to the ace, lead up to the king, they win the ace, they get the queen jack. If we lead, say, low to the 10 of spades, they win the queen and they run the jack through the king, and we don't get any spade tricks. So it's only because they played spades that we were actually able to get a spade trick. But if they don't play spades, then we have all the timing in the world to pitch spades on minor winners. Goes to show another general rule that it is never advantageous for you to be the first one to lead the suit. As you can see with those spades, basically like whoever plays the spades first loses a trick. Okay, 4 spades. I'll check that auction again. 1, 2, 4. Our spades are good. They are solid. Down through the 7. Hearts, no losers. Clubs, no losers. Diamonds, 3 losers. Sorry, I should say 4 losers. We have 4 small diamonds in our hand. Ideally, we would get to rough one. If the diamonds are 3-3, that 2 of diamonds could become a winner. In which case, we wouldn't have to rough at all. So let's see what we ought to do. What are our choices, really? If we want to rough a diamond, we do have high trumps and dummy. So we don't have to worry about any over roughs if we try to rough a 4th round. If any of the first 3 rounds gets roughed, that's not a problem, because those were already losers. So it sure looks like we should just attack diamonds right away. Because if they're not 3-3, we do need to have trumps and dummy. So like on a similar hand a bit ago, drawing trump early is not very helpful, because we might need to rough. That said, we're going to give up the lead 3 times. That gives them enough timing to actually draw 3 rounds of spades. So if the defense is accurate, they should be able to stop us from ruffing a diamond anyways. I don't think that means that we should draw Trump ourselves, though, because if they fail to draw Trump even once, which certainly defenders may do, like I don't think it's actually super obvious that by playing a diamond we're trying to rough diamonds, because we don't actually have short diamonds in North. 3-card suit is normal. Opponents might not realize that we're actually trying to rough diamonds. We might just have some reason to duck around. Like we've already seen some examples where we should duck the first round of a suit, just to maintain some communication of some sort. Also, can anything bad happen if we were to just play the diamonds anyways? Like they're not likely to get a club or heart ruff. Those would have to be splitting like 6-1. That to be a problem. So yeah, I don't see anything bad that can happen by just playing diamonds now. I do see some upside, which is they fail to draw Trump and they let us rough a diamond at the end. And in the worst case, if they do actually play spades every time, we can still fall back on that 3-3 split in diamonds. I want to save the 2 because I want to win the last trick with the 2 if I'm able to. For fun. Diamonds, they do see what we're doing and they rough. But we will persist. All right, rough again. There's also a possibility, another way this can work, is if diamonds don't split, the person who has the last diamond might not have any spades left. And there you go. Just like that. So either diamonds are 3-3, or they're not 3-3, but the person who wins the third round has no more spades, or the defense just fails to lead spades every opportunity. So a lot of ways for this to win. We don't expect the defensive errors against Bridgemaster, but this is a very real defensive error to... If you had to rely on defensive error, this is certainly one you could rely on a lot of the time. So we better rough this high. What is the right way to get back to our hand? Another common theme. We have multiple ways to get back to our hand to draw trumps. Which one should we take? We can do King of Hearts, and we can rough a club. One of these is 100% safe, which is roughing a club. A heart technically could get roughed, whereas they only have one spade outstanding, if I've been counting, which is with West. So if we rough high, it's a small spade, so if we rough high, there's no way we can get over roughed, and now we can draw the last spade. As it turns out, West had another heart. But always worth considering. What is the safest way back? Nice. Also worth pointing out in this hand, we ran into one of the layouts where if we had drawn any trump, we would have been in trouble. We needed that trump at the end because diamonds didn't split. So this is another hand where there was really no upside to drawing trump. I mean, you could prevent a ruff in one of the round suits, but that's really unlikely anyways. Whereas it's quite likely to run into a layout just like this. Okay, oops, sorry, I skipped the auction again. 1-3 now. All right, 1 spade winner. 2 hearts is 3. 3 clubs is 6. A diamond is 7. Where are the extra tricks? Clubs is certainly a standout. That's a nice club suit. Spades, not really anything we can do. Hearts, nope. Diamonds, a 3-3 split would give us one more trick, but that... Oh, which actually is enough, right? Sorry, we have... Oh, no, we only have 7 top tricks. So a diamond trick is not very helpful. We'll need clubs. At a glance, this looks like a similar theme that we saw earlier around entries to a long suit that doesn't have any side entries. If we want to get a bunch of club tricks, we may need to duck around first for maximum safety. So in this case, we may not have to duck around. Like, we have 8 clubs. If they're split 3-2, we've got the top 3. We could have a lot of club tricks. And a 3-2 split is the most likely. It's like 68%. If this was match points, it would probably behoove you to actually just run the club suit. And hope for the 68%, which is, the most likely outcome. If you're playing imps, though, we can do much better by ducking a round of clubs first. Because the problem is, if clubs are 4-1, we play the ace, king, queen, we give up a club, and we have no way to get back to these clubs. And that's very sad. Whereas if we duck the first round, then if clubs are 4-1, we'll win the second, third, and fourth rounds of clubs, and then our clubs will be good to go. That will give us 5 club tricks instead of 6, but 5 clubs plus the 4 tricks in our hand is all we need. The chance of 4-1 splits about 28%. So we increase our chances of winning from 68% by relying on a 3-2 split to how to math, like 96%. Basically, we only fail on a 5-0 split, which is a 4% chance. And so 96% chance at imps, that's a pretty good chance. So ducking a club here is what we call a safety play. We're giving up a trick that we might not have to lose. And that's a difference from the previous time we ducked a trick. Previous time we ducked a trick, we were always going to lose that trick anyways, and so it made sense to lose it first. In this case, we don't actually have to lose a club. But if we're willing to take out this insurance policy by losing a trick we might not have to lose, it greatly increases the chance of making the contract. An interesting note here is that if they had led diamonds or spades, where we only had 1 stopper, we probably would not want to give up the lead in clubs and have them like run a bunch of pointy tricks. But they've led hearts, where we have a double stopper, which means that consideration is gone. It's totally safe for us to duck 1 round of clubs. And so we duck entirely. And they both followed suit to clubs, which means they can't be worse than 4-1. And we should root for someone to show out on this trick, so that our prudence is rewarded. And indeed, clubs are 4-1. Bridgemaster is good at making you feel like you did the right thing. And we take our tricks. Okay. Time to go 30 for 30. 3 diamonds, 3 now. This is a much nicer 3-no bid than that, like, what was it, 2 diamonds, 2-no that we saw earlier. A pretty good chance. Partner's got 7 diamonds. Pretty good chance we're getting 7 diamond tricks, plus we just have 2 tricks on the side. And we have so many extra tricks available, king, queen of spades, that even if partner doesn't have the king of diamonds, or if diamonds aren't quite running, we've still got lots of chances. So I like this 3-no bid more. And indeed, looks like partner doesn't have the king, but otherwise the diamonds are solid. Oh, plus we got the king of clubs. This is like such a good hand. Okay. 3-no at a glance seems like it ought to be good, but let's count it out. No spade winners yet. We have 1 heart, 1 club, 2 clubs, and 1 diamond, 4 top tricks. Obviously, diamonds are going to be pretty involved in getting the rest of our tricks. It's true we could set up a spade, but that really pales in comparison to all the tricks available in diamonds. How ought we to go about getting our diamond tricks? In isolation, the best play for 7 tricks in the diamond suit. This is 10 cards missing the king. Oh, I just talked about this earlier. This is our 10 ever, or 11 never. With 10 cards missing the king, the best thing to do is to finesse the queen. Run the queen past east. But do we need 7 diamond tricks? We have 3 tricks outside of diamonds, so we only need 6. If we were to do that finesse, we would need to use an entry to do the finesse, and the only entry available is the King of Clubs. And we could run into a problem that we saw earlier, which is if East had, say, 3 diamonds to the king, they might not take the king until the 3rd round, and that would block us out of getting back to our diamonds. So even if this finesse is working, we might not be able to actually get 7 diamond tricks. And so yeah, that would be very disappointing. Whereas, if we eschew the diamond finesse, and we give up on 7 tricks, but go for 6, we won't have to burn the King of Clubs entry, so no matter when they take the King of Diamonds, we will have the King of Clubs as a way to get back there. Which brings us to trick 1, where to win the club. The answer there is not dummy. We need the King of Clubs later, potentially, as an entry. If diamonds are 2-2, they can't do anything interesting. But if diamonds aren't 2-2, we're going to want that King of Clubs. Yeah, even if diamonds are 4-0, we're actually fine, because we would just keep bashing out diamonds from dummy until they took the king. And we would have the King of Clubs as an entry back. So, now that we've planned that out, we know not to take the King of Clubs. Ooh, a second stumbling block that they've provided us. What do we win with in our hand? If your plan relies on using the King of Clubs, you'd better not take the Jack of Clubs now, or we will not have a club entry. So another tempting tidbit that you should reject. Do not take this free finesse, and do not take the diamond finesse. These are both traps. I wonder what you do at match points here. At match points, it's actually better than 50% that you would get the king out in 2 rounds of diamonds. So at match points, it probably would be right to take the Jack of Clubs, unblock the Ace of Clubs, and then work on diamonds. But it's Imp's land. We are going to eschew this finesse and the diamond finesse. Ace of diamonds first, because the king might fall. Aha, and when diamonds show up to be 4-0 offside, we already know that we've done the right thing. But we'll keep playing these. Keep playing diamonds. West waits for us to be out of diamonds before taking the king. A good defensive play. Knocks out the Ace of Hearts, which is good. They'll stop us from getting an extra trick with the King Queen of Spades later. If they let a spade, we'd have another over trick. And with our gently preserved entry of the King of Clubs, we've got all the tricks we need. All right, 3-0. I'm sorry, what was that? Auction again. 3-3. Quite the hand from partner. Partner certainly expecting he's going to run something like 7 clubs, 2 diamonds, and Ace of Hearts, 10 tricks on their own. But somebody has something to say about that. So what do we got? Spades. No tricks currently, though we will get a trick if they persist in spades. 1 heart, 3 clubs, 4 diamonds. That's 8 top tricks right now. It is possible that we don't have all of those club tricks. So we have, what is that? 9 clubs? They could split 4-0. So we might not get all the club tricks. Not that we need them all. We have 5 tricks outside of clubs right now. So we don't need 7 club tricks. So that may be worth keeping in mind. So assuming they persist in spades, how will we tackle the clubs? If righty has 4 to the jack, we can't work around that. If lefty has 4 to the jack, then when we play the first round of clubs, low to the ace, righty will show out. and we'll know that we can come back to our hand to finesse against the jack. And in particular, we could come back in diamonds. So we would have an entry back to do that. Let's see how this first couple tricks plays out. So they do take their ace of spades, yes. Trying to think if they have any interesting switch they could do. Perhaps the thing that's of some interest is what do we discard on this trick? And so we have some choices here, right? Like a heart, a diamond, and a club all look like potential discards. As I've already mentioned, we don't need all of these club tricks. So at a glance, I would say the club is actually by far the safest thing to discard. But let's work through the options. If we discarded a heart now, there's some concern. Let's say that they switch to a heart right away. So they have 2 spade tricks in hand. They switch to a heart. It's probably not too problematic. We would still play the ace of clubs, and if we saw that lefty had all the clubs, we would still come over here in diamonds and do the club finesse. And if clubs split, we'd be good to go. So I don't think discarding a heart is a problem. Discarding a diamond, though, is a problem. Well, discarding the 2 of diamonds is a problem. Because if it does turn out the lefty has those 4 clubs, we're going to need entry to our hand to finesse the clubs. So actually, you know what the best discard here that definitely doesn't give up anything at all is one of the top diamonds. We've got the top 6 diamonds to take 4 diamond tricks with. We don't actually need both of these top diamonds. I think discarding the heart looks safe to me. But the thing that's absolutely the safest and still gives us the chance of taking all the club tricks is discard a high diamond. Oh right. Plus, we're gonna find a second discard, aren't we? Well, how about the other high diamond? Like these diamonds in our hand are still good. We don't need entries to the north hand in diamonds. And so discarding Ace King of Diamonds is probably, a little ostentatious. We could discard the 2 of hearts, but we actually do have to discard one of those high diamonds. So we could discard the 2 of hearts plus a high diamond. The important thing here is we cannot discard both the red 2s. We could afford to discard a club. Ooh, okay. It's actually righty that's showing up with all the clubs. This was something I didn't particularly plan for. Oh, how many tricks we got? We actually have all the tricks we need. Yep. Did I miscount that from the beginning? I forgot that once we have a spade, we have 1 spade, 1 heart, 3 clubs is 5, 4 diamonds is 9. So a bit missing from my initial plan is that once we actually did get that spade trick, the spade trick wasn't assured. They could have switched potentially. I should have recounted after we got the spade trick. Once we get the spade trick, we can recount the tricks and say, okay, 1 spade, 1 heart, 3 clubs, that's 5, 4 diamonds is 9. And now, even if righty has the 4 clubs to the jack and they have dangerous spades to lead back, it's not a problem. We've left ourselves room to take all the tricks we have. And so there's no need to mess around in clubs. Take the clubs we can. Take our diamonds that we have left ourselves an entry to. And the ace of hearts. 9 tricks. All right, that was a a small stumble I didn't quite account for. But we saw the key problem, which is do not discard the 2 of diamonds. That is the most important card in this north hand. I mean, also don't discard the ace of hearts. That would have been 4. All right, 3-no again. We have 2 spades. 2 hearts is 4. A club is 5. A diamond is 6. Need 3 more tricks. Hearts could provide 1 more trick on a 3-3 split. Spades could provide 2 more tricks on a 3-3 split. Both of those would involve losing a trick. We can't capitalize on both of them against optimal defense because they would just hit diamonds the first time we give them the lead, and then the next time we give them the lead in the other major, they would run a bunch of diamonds. So we'll need tricks from clubs. And these clubs are really good. We're only missing the king. So it sure looks like we could have 4 additional club tricks. Oh, sorry, 3 more. Get the ace, lose a king, get 3 more tricks. And that'd be 4 club tricks, 1 diamond is 5, 4 major tricks is 9. That sounds pretty good. As always, if we are going to establish a long suit, we had better have an entry to it. So let's take a look at this choice. East does not win the king. If East had won the king, this hand would be over. We would have 5 club tricks and 1 diamond, 4 more tricks, 10 tricks, easy. They've not won the king. Not too surprising. Like, lefty picked clubs to lead. They probably have the king. Probably looks like a good suit for them. What do we do now? Yet again, we're given this sort of free chance to take a trick cheaply. But there are 2 problems. One is, would that actually help? Like, if we won the queen, do you think we actually wouldn't lose the king later? If righty had the king, they would have played it. If lefty had the king, they have at least 3 clubs. Otherwise, they would have played the king. So they're going to get the king later. Like, they're taking the queen now doesn't stop us from losing the king later. More importantly, if we take the queen now, how is the rest of the play going to look? We'd have to play a diamond to the ace to get to these clubs. We play the ace of clubs, we play another club, they win the king, and there's no entries left for these clubs. So, what can we do about that? And the safe thing we can do is overtake this club. We know we're going to lose a club. Like, lefty has the guarded king. We're going to lose a club no matter what. It doesn't cost us anything to overtake with the ace. We're still going to get the 4 club tricks we need. But importantly, by using the ace of clubs as an early entry to the clubs, we have the ace of diamonds as a later entry after we've established them. So while it looks tempting, potentially, to grab this queen, we can see the entry problem looming. And we should be taking the ace now. And now we're here to knock out clubs. There we go. And we still have the ace of diamonds to get back. Which they would like us to take right now. So we shall. 2 tricks in the bag, 3 clubs, 4 in the minors, 9 tricks. Done and done. All right. A very reasonable 3 diamonds call from us. And partner leaves us well alone, even though they've got 15 points. That is a reasonable thing to do. The diamonds don't need to be running. You know, they might not have a bunch of tricks. Like, 3-no, it could technically be a possibility, but you can already expect this heart lead through the king-jack over to east likely ace-queen, so it doesn't look great. A good pass from partner. All right, 3 diamonds. We are going to lose a diamond. That's 1 diamond loser. Spades are fine. Hearts, potentially 2 losers. Clubs, potentially 2 losers. If East had all those round honors, that would be 5 losers in total. The diamond loser is unavoidable, as are the 2 round aces. But a successful finesse in either suit would bring our loser count down from 5 to 4, which would be all we need. Any other options? Spades can't really set up. We would need like a 7th spade. If the opponents were slow, we could set up clubs to, pitch a heart potentially, but definitely don't expect that to happen. It sure looks like we are going to need some successful finesse in these suits. And both of these finesses look like a guess. Like right now, we have a choice of the king or jack. If lefty has the ace, the king is the right choice. If lefty has the queen, the jack is the right choice. If lefty has neither, it doesn't matter. And it's the same thing in clubs. I already talked about this earlier. Which of the king or jack should we try right now? We strongly suspect the lefty is not underleading an ace. In which case the jack is like 100% the right choice here. There's a good chance that East just has both hard honors and it won't matter. But East absolutely has the ace, but may not have the queen. So the jack is the right thing to try first. All right, it doesn't work. They take that. We should be rooting for them to lead a club or heart next. But perhaps lead a diamond. It's a spade. If they led a club, that would solve our guess in clubs. If they led a heart, we could rough and stuff a club. Unless, of course, East had like seven hearts, in which case make it over roughed and then whoops. But I'd be willing to take that risk. If they had 7 hearts, they might have competed over 3 diamonds. Okay. Ace of spades. Well, we're not planning on roughing anything. It looks like we're going to just have to guess clubs correctly. Since we're not roughing anything, we should play on diamonds. We should not try to come back to our hand with like king of spades and the spade rough. That's just asking for over roughs. We should play a diamond. And they're going to force us to the club guess right away. They didn't. Oh, how nice. We'll let us wallow for a bit and draw the rest of the trump. All right. All trump gone. And that brings us back to this choice in clubs. Is it a pure guess? Not likely in Bridgemaster. And not likely in general. A lot of the time, there's a lot of evidence to suggest one thing over another. Like the very lazy analysis is righty opened the bidding. They probably have more points. They're more likely to have any arbitrary ace. But maybe we can think that through a little bit more. What high cards were missing? So lefty had the ace of diamonds, the only missing diamond card. In spades, we saw righty lead the queen of spades, which strongly suggests they also have the jack. So it looked like righty had both the queen, jack of spades. Righty had the ace and queen of hearts. And yeah, now what's left is the ace and queen of clubs. So righty showed up with 3 high card points in spades and 6 in hearts. So that's 9. If they don't have the ace of clubs, but they do have the queen, that would give them 11 high card points. They might be opening. There is a lot of distribution around the table, but it does give them a pretty thin opening bid. This looks like the first hand where we are actually going to pay close attention to the auction. Yeah, if East doesn't have the ace of clubs, they have at most 11 high card points. A possible opening bid, but, on the minimum side. Also, if they don't have the ace of clubs, that gives their partner the ace of clubs and the ace of diamonds. 8 high card points, 8 good high card points, and they didn't try to compete over 3 diamonds, as they may have. Not mandatory, but that's certainly getting pretty close to what you would want to compete with. 2 solid tricks is pretty good. So it seems a lot more likely that East has the ace of clubs rather than West, because it requires a pretty narrow path to East having the ace of clubs on this auction. It's not a slam dunk, but it looks good. It's definitely a strong enough reason that I would want to try to finesse the jack and not the king. Woohoo! And there we go. So succeeding on this hand requires remembering that, there was an auction, and that there is certainly information to be gained from it, and remembering which cards everyone played, and also which cards were implied. This Jack of Spades we didn't see until this trick, but the fact that East led the Queen of Spades was certainly a strong suggestion they had the Jack as well. Our analysis would have been the same if we didn't know about the Jack of Spades. In that, East would have at most 12 without the Ace of Clubs. That would still be kind of, minimum opening. But when we give them the Jack of Spades as well, then the chance of not having Ace of Clubs definitely goes down. All right, let's cast our tricks. And in general, if you're ever faced with something that looks like a guess, you should try to put together all of the information that's available. It may not be much of a guess at all. I'm interested in actually how this Bridge is a little bit old. So I said, 11 high card points was possible. They could have a distributional hand. I wonder how strong of a stance they're going to take that 11 high card points is like not an acceptable opening bid. I just want to see how old are the sensibilities. It's not so old. Like I think the software was made in the mid 90s. I think 95 was when it was written. But that is it's still a fair number of years away from modern bridge. Not that wasn't modern bridge, but from the most modern bridge. Okay, there's no reason to put up drawing up Trump. Yeah, I agree. Draw Trump. West wins the ace, continues Spades. Yes, they do. After drawing Trump, must avoid losing 2 club tricks. When South leads a club, and West follows low, South has a decision. Not a guess, a decision. Yep, as we've seen, depending on the split, or depending on where these honors are. Alright, the above distribution is unlikely, however. The above East hand has only 11 high card points. Generally not enough for an opening bid. The West hand is also inconsistent with the bidding, holding 2 aces, a doubleton, and Trump support. West would have supported hearts. That's a good point. Did I actually know what the heart? I didn't know that Lefty had 3 hearts, right? We actually only played 2 rounds of hearts. Oh, but what were the first 2 tricks, though? Let's take a quick look. I don't think it's clear from the play that Lefty has only 2 hearts. But from the auction, if Righty really has 7 hearts, the Ace, Queen, 10. Oh, they did play a 4. Oh, I actually missed that they played the 4. I should have paid a bit more attention to this card exactly. They played the 4 and then the 5. This already shows not a doubleton. You would play high with a doubleton. So it's true. Lefty's known to have Trump support, and on the bad layout, they have 2 aces, and they have Trump support. Yeah. I think they would probably have competed to 3 hearts. So, the analysis we had still correct, but there is an even stronger reason than what I've stated for why Lefty would have competed in this auction. Two spades, 4 spades. All right. We have a potential spade loser. 2 hearts. Nothing in clubs, and 2 diamonds. So that is 5 losers to bring down to 3. Let us start with this trick, though. Again, putting up the king, very, very unlikely to be correct. East just has the ace, I promise. So if we play low, though, and Lefty has the queen, we could get a heart trick. Any other way of dealing with these losers in spades, hearts, and diamonds besides just playing the suits right? There's no extra winners in clubs. There's no roughs available. There are extra winners available in diamonds we could use to pitch hearts, but I think the heart suit is about to be solved right now, so I don't think we're going to get a chance for that. In spades, we have 9 spades missing the king, so the finesse is the most normal thing to do. We would run the queen. It looks like we're just going to have to get diamonds right. If hearts work out, and spades also work out, we can have a 1 spade loser and 1 heart loser. We still have to come down to only 1 diamond loser. So yeah, no matter what, we're going to have to guess diamonds right. Okay, so as I pointed out, the king is absolutely wrong. We must duck this. Alright, if Righty has the ace-queen, not a lot we can do about that. And so they do. Ace-queen of spades, or ace-queen of hearts. Alright, and we're forced to win this up here. So that's already 2 losers, and we have an unavoidable diamond loser. So spades better be loser-free, and we had better get diamonds right. Again, we have this thing that looks like a guess in diamonds, so it would be worth paying attention to where all the high cards are at. Oh, and we do have a clue on this bidding. East did not open. So we're going to expect them to have fewer than 12 high card points, which could be relevant. Those negative signals are pretty important. Alright, we sure hope that East has the king of spades, or this hand will be over fast. Cool. Alright. Ace of spades. So, what did Righty have then? The ace queen of hearts and the king of spades, 9 high card points. Could they have the ace of diamonds? Not if they didn't open. That would be 13. So, again, this guess is also not really a guess. Righty does not have the ace of diamonds. So if we're going to finesse, we're going to finesse the king. I don't remember the jack. We're going to finesse the king. East might have the queen, but they do not have the ace. And there we go. We will lose a diamond. Nothing we can do about that. And the rest are ours. So yeah, a bit of a vary on the previous hand. On the previous hand, there was, I guess there was actually a positive and a negative signal in the bidding. With the positive information of Righty having made an opening bid, and the negative information of Lefty having not competed or raised at all. And here we just had the idea that Righty did not open. And there just wasn't enough room in their hand for the ace of diamonds. One no, and we put in a 2 hearts. Alright, this is another auction that looks pretty informative. Lefty has 15 to 17 high card points in this system. A standard American 5-card major, strong no trump kind of system. Oh, there's actually an outside chance that it's a 16 to 18 system. We could find out in the video. But 1995, we're probably still a 15 to 17, but I guess we'll see. Probably borderline. Hopefully that 1 high card point won't matter if that's what it comes to. I do already see a potential guess suit in diamond, but let's see what this hand is. Okay, hearts have no losers. Spades, we have 2 unavoidable spade losers. Diamonds, we have potentially 2 losers. And clubs, we have another 2 unavoidable club losers. So if we have to lose 2 spades, and we have to lose 2 clubs, and we have to lose an ace of diamonds, we had best not be losing the queen of diamonds on top of that. So, yep, it looks like it's going to come down to a guess in diamonds. In which case, yeah, let's pay attention to the high card points as we go, because that might be a useful clue. We have the lead of the king here. Well, I'm sure they're going to play the ace next. It's worth pointing out that this king lead almost certainly is coming from ace-king. Different partnerships lead different things from ace-king. It's, I would say, modern. It's more common to lead the ace. But king from ace-king is still very popular. Some partnerships have agreements for leading the king sometimes and the ace sometimes. Whether you're interested in partner showing you a count signal or an attitude signal. But this king is going to come with the ace. It could be King Doubleton. It's possible in the 1-0 trump opening hand. What I always like doing with hands like this is playing the queen just to make them think I have a singleton. Hey, look, they switched. Not that's going to help on this hand. So he's talking of clubs. When you're seeing the king of spades, that's 6 points. Ace of spades, that's 10. Ace of clubs, that's 14. Jack of clubs, hey, there you go. That's 15. All right, that's 15 high card points from West. Do you think they can have the ace of diamonds? I had a fleeting concern there that they were going to show 14 high card points, and that I might think they were still playing a 16 to 18 no trump, and they could have the ace of diamonds. So nice of them to show the Jack of clubs. And now I know that even if they are playing a 16 to 18 high card point, 1 no trump, there's not enough room in lefty's hand for the ace of diamonds. So it looks like we have solved the guess here. We are going to play low to the king in diamonds after we draw trump. We have an entry in the queen of spades, so we're okay to keep drawing trump. If ace of hearts was our only entry, I would actually play high hearts from my hand and leave the ace of hearts for the end. But okay. Trump's drawn. Entry over. Low to the king. And there we have it. And also, in both of these hands, very good for the person we're finessing against to duck. If they play the ace or queen, the guess is gone. It's very important for them to duck and give us a chance to go wrong. So, again, this is not... If you think that they should take the ace, that would be very poor defense. Very good not to take the ace. All right. We've done 35. It's the last it's the last problem of level 1A. Let's see if we can actually get through all of them without making an egregious error. 1, 2, 3, 4 hearts. Good auction. Okie doke. Hearts, totally good. Spades, 2 losers. Diamonds, no losers. Clubs, potentially 2 losers. We may only get 1 trick out of the king-queen. If the ace is on the right, we should be able to get 2 club tricks. If ace is on the left, we only get 1. How do we handle the losers? Spades, there's no roughs, there's no extra winners in dummy, so we're just going to lose 2 spades. Same thing in clubs, we can't rough, there's no extra winners, so it looks like we're going to have to play clubs in isolation for 1 loser. And the appropriate way to do that is to lead up to the king-queen twice. If we just played a king or queen from our hand, opponents would win the ace, they'd knock out the queen, they would win the 3rd round. If we lead to the king-queen twice, and righty has the ace, then if they ever take it, we get 2 club tricks, and if they don't take it, we get 2 club tricks. So we want righty to have the ace. If we're going to lead clubs twice, we're going to need 2 entries to the north hand. We do have these 2 aces, so that looks good. So one last question then is, when do we take them? Should we take ace of spades now, for instance? Certainly a good idea, because this king could be doubleton, or even if it's not, righty could be doubleton. If we waited to take the ace of spades, it might get roughed. So a little bit, holdups make a lot of sense in a no trump contract. They make a lot less sense in a suit contract. Though I will say there are moments in suit contracts for ducking to prevent communication. This is not one of them. Okay, ace of spades. Importantly, if we're going to need 2 entries to these clubs, and these 2 aces are our entries, we'd better take a club finesse now. We cannot start working on hearts. And there's not really a danger of clubs getting roughed. But again, this split might be pretty bad. Plus, we're about to draw hearts next, so. Alright, we run one of these, pass east. It holds. Nice. Now we'd like to draw trump. We couldn't do it earlier because we had to use that entry for a club finesse. But now that we have a bit of breathing room, we can start drawing trump. And in particular, we should draw trump ending in dummy with the ace of hearts. So we should not play the ace of hearts first. Because if we play the ace of hearts first, that forces us to do another club finesse right away. And the chance of a ruff has increased since the first round of clubs has been played. So the safe thing to do is draw trump ending in dummy. They have only 3 trumps in total, so they have 1 left. So now we know we can play the ace of hearts. And now we will run this ass east again. He plays the ace. Does he try to give a club ruff? Not anymore. I've counted all the trump out, but... Alright, they take the 2 spade tricks that they're owed, I'm sure. And we are good to go. I'm interested to see... Oh yeah, did they actually give West Singleton Club? Oh, they gave us Doubleton Club. Which means if we were not careful to draw the trump before the second round of clubs, righty would win the ace and give a ruff. So there was that extra little danger on this hand. The chance of the first round of clubs getting ruffed, not very likely. Chance of second round, still not very likely. But the chance of the third round getting ruffed, actually quite likely. So very important that we drew all the trump when we could, and not before. So as always, draw trump as early as you can, and that does not always mean immediately. And with that, we have gotten through all 36 of the level 1A problems, and I did not make any egregious errors, which I think for the first time, talking through things certainly helps. If I'm not talking through it, I'm definitely going to play them faster, and then I'll make some silly mistakes. This was nice. I had that one misstep on the hand with all the clubs where I didn't quite think it through all the way. But we got to the important parts, so that was fun. Alrighty. So that will do it for level 1A. There is one more set of problems in level 1. Level 1Bs, there's 30 problems. So I will go through those next. And then on to level 2. Thanks for watching.